All right, so I had some connection issues. Apologies for that. We are back, and I can see that we're live. So essentially, okay. So the second user, the second trader, is quite a bit behind. So our number one right now is trading at 7.73%, and the closest trader is the Homo 666, who is trading right now at 1.5%. And as you can see, it's interesting to see because the number one user basically was going short on BTC and now starting to close down some positions, and then the Homo ball is basically kind of going long on Uniswap. So let's see how that's gonna play out. And also we have a few users, M and Bobo, who are kind of flat. One is plus, positive 54%. The other one is negative half a point. And these two are shorting Uni and B. Okay, so not BTC, BCH, respectively. All right. So hopefully it's gonna play out today. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. One thing to know right now, of course, while our users trading, we can take a look at the general market. So let's see where we're sitting. Yeah. So as you can see right now, Bitcoin kind of went down quite a bit, almost 6%. And ETH is again below 3,000, unfortunately. So I don't really know. We don't really have a lot of specific negative um, things that, like, I haven't seen any like big negative news or items as to why the market is crashing. I think there was some Tether FUD again, about their like accounting and basically issuing more USDT, but I don't know. It's not really news, right? Like Tether FUD is to be expected, but I can see, for example, Solana is crushing again, almost 7.5% to 126. Tron is actually surprisingly doing quite well. We have Dogecoin, which is down a lot. We have Bitcoin Cash again dropping. Hyperliquid sitting at $30. Can you imagine, like, about a month ago, probably even less than a month, but yeah, about a month ago, Hyperliquid was like 49, 48, 49, and now it's sitting at 30. So it's like it's quite a bit, right? And then let's see what else we have here. Wow, Zcash down 20%. Jesus. AVAX below 13 once again. So yeah, the markets. Okay, so Polkadot is almost below 2. The general markets are not doing so hot. Near, my God, near was so high, and now it's down a lot. So I wonder if this is continues. What's really sucks, I guess, for altcoin traders or altcoin holders is that look at BTC chart, and we can take a look at maybe 1 month, so, or maybe 1 week. So yeah, about a week ago, it dropped to, as you can see at that time, to like 80, 82, 83, right? And then we had a pretty nice recovery to 88. And then it went down again, down again. So it kind of recovered from like low 80s into the 90s as of like few days ago. And then we can see this drop again, right? So if we take a look at the monthly chart, So we had this crush to like here to like 82, right? Almost like, yeah, 81, 82. And then we had a pretty nice bump all the way down, all the way up to 92, around 92, right? And now we crash again to 85. But like, if you look at some of the altcoins, so like even if my favorite, which is Solana, if we look at the 1 month chart, so here it basically went down from like upper 60s, right? So at the beginning of the month, like 170, upper 60s, and then went down all the way to like 120. I think it was 121 at some point, but then it didn't really rebound back to 116, 170, right? It kind of stayed the same, and now it crashed again. So it's basically the Bitcoin crashes, and then altcoins crashes with Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin recovers a little bit. Altcoin don't really recover, and then Bitcoin crashes again, and altcoin crash even more. So it's really hard to be an altcoin holder, I guess, or trader. I guess if you're a trader right now, like for example, for our competition specifically, it's pretty good because um, you have the volatility, right? So if you're trading altcoins or any kind of asset, not just altcoins, but any kind of asset, volatility is usually your friend. So you're kind of looking for that. But at the same time, if you're a holder, right? So if you're just holding, then that's not really what you're looking for because your portfolio is obviously taking a big dump. All right, well, let's go back to our traders and let's see where we are in terms of the trading. So our trader 11, it's still at the top. So this trader is sitting at about almost 8% positive, which is 15 and a half USDT or USDC. And then we have in position number 2, Homable, who is at almost 3%, which is pretty good, I guess. And then we have Justin at 1%, Bobo basically at 0, M at 0, Jork at 0. And we have one Benjamin who is at negative 4%. So as you can see, if we let's give some thumbs up. So if we take a look at the Benjamin, this trader went long on Uni, then closed the position, then went short, then closed it again a minute or like 30 seconds later. And then now they're just going short, 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 then going long, closing some of the positions, long, going short. So basically, this user is making a lot of trades and now going long. But right now, it seems like it's not really working out that well. And if we take a look at our first place, yeah, so it seems like, so let's see, this trader went BTC 74, 1, 3. Yeah, so it seems like they're closed most of their positions and then just sitting flat. I guess this is a good strategy as well because we still have 10 minutes left. But if you're up 7.73%, that's pretty good, right? And it's almost like, I don't want to say guaranteed because nothing is guaranteed in this life. But it's almost like guaranteed that you can advance into the semifinals. All right. All right. So let's see. Basically, for us, one of the things that we are want to do during this competition is basically to take a look and see what's ahead. So as of now, we are kind of in the midst of the Deribit and Signal Plus competition, of course. So for people who hasn't joined yet, there is still a lot of opportunities to join, and we are still, I mean, we still have a lot of prizes to give away, a lot of things that are still being given away and in progress. And essentially, as I mentioned previously, for you guys, if you are joining the competition, of course, the more you trade, the higher the volume that you trade, the more you will qualify for higher prizes. But that being said, even if you have a small account, or let's say if your trading values are not that high, you will still be eligible for a lot of rewards. Like we have the referral reward. So if you have some friends who want to join the competition and haven't participated, you can definitely do the referral, and you and your friend who you will refer will qualify for a lot of things. And of course, we have things like, if you make one trade a day, you will be eligible to enter some draws. And if you make several trades per week, you will be able to again will be eligible to enter additional draws. And of course, we have additional ones like this competition, King of Perpetuals. I mean, of course, now for the King of Perpetuals, it's we're already in the midst. We're almost in the final stages. So this week, and then next week, we will have semifinals. So this week we have a round of four. Like I mentioned previously, we have 16 participants who qualified from the previous round, and they have entered the round of four, which is this round. And the way that it's going to work is that we divided it into the two groups of 7 to 8 people, and basically the top two by revenue will advance into the next round. Now, the cool thing about this is that right now the entry capital is a little bit higher than previously. So right now it's about 200 USDC. Now, with 200 USDC, you can kind of start making some gains, right? I think for a lot of people, maybe a lot of like small account people like myself, if I'm trading on leverage, if I'm trading perps on leverage, I would usually do it in like isolated account, and I would have something like 100 to 200, USDC per trade to risk, because obviously I don't want to like blow up my portfolio completely, right? So to me, this is kind of like my sweet spot whenever I'm trading with leverage, and I think the entry capital for this round is perfect for people to take the risk and see how it plays out. But at the same time, keep in mind is that as a part of this competition, specifically for the King of Perpetuals, the entry capital will always be refunded to you if in case you do lose. So, for example, in this case, any kind of losses that you suffer, up to the amount of the entry capital will be refunded to you, right? So in this case, for example, Benjamin, right now this trader is sitting at negative 6%. So he is losing about 12 USDC right now so far. But of course, all that amount will be reimbursed. And the cool thing is that the higher we go, like if you're able to qualify into the next round. So remember, our next round starts next week, and these will be semifinals. Now, the next round will be a little bit different from these two rounds, okay? Because the previous round, the round of 16 and the round of four, these rounds are all 30 minutes long, okay? But for the round of four, for the next week, for the semifinals, finally, we're going to have a little bit more time allocated. And for semifinals, each round will be 45 minutes, okay? And of course, in the final round, it will be 1 hour of trading. So we kind of like progressing each time, each week, where the initial round, the preliminary round was only 15 minutes. So it was like super short, right? And then we have the round of 16, which was last week. And that round was 30 minutes. And the entry capital for that round was 50 USDC. So again, fully reimbursed, right? All the USDC that you have, that will be reimbursed. And then we have the round of four. Which is this week. So it's going to be today. We have 4 minutes left. And of course, we're going to have another round tomorrow. And this round is also 30 minutes. However, the entry capital for this round is 200 USDC, like I mentioned. For me, I think this is the sweet spot. But the cool thing, the most exciting part, I think, starts next week, and then the week, excuse me, and then the week after next week. So next week we're going to have the 45-minute rounds. And also the the entry capital will be 1000 USDC. Okay, and of course for the final round, the round itself will be 1 hour long, and the entry capital will be 10,000 USDC, which will again be fully reimbursed to you. Okay, so basically there is nothing really to use for the people who are trading, because even if you blow up for the whole entry capital amount, that's we got you covered. Now a lot of things happening right now. We still have 3.5 minutes left, and as we can see, HomeAble is actually bypassed the trader named 11. So previously, HomeAble was sitting at like 2.5, 3%. And I think, like I mentioned, Trader 11 hasn't made any trades already for more than 20 minutes, right? So basically, at the beginning, this trader was able to make a few successful trades with BTC. He closed down all the positions, and basically, they're sitting at 7.73%. Now, HomeAble back then was at the second place, and he was lagging behind. But HomeAble is actively trading. As you can see, this trader has a whole bunch of trades on Uniswap, and so now he is actually almost at 10%, almost at 10%. And what's interesting is that we have Justin, who is catching up actually to 11. And remember, I think for the trader 11, I think the logic there was is like, all right, you know what? I made almost 8%. 8% is quite a lot. So I'm just gonna sit tight. I'm not gonna make any more trades, because if I keep actively trading, this 7% can go down and actually be like 2% or 5%, or whatever the amount is. But that being said, I can see that Justin right now is closing very, 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 like, not very far. And all right, so even more now, as you can see, Justin is about to pass 11. And like I said, remember that you need to qualify in the top two, right, to advance into the next round. So if Justin is able to bypass 11, then the strategy for the strategy that 11 has chosen to implement, to kind of like make the first gain and then just sit tight, might not be working. All right, so we have a little bit over a minute left. Let's see how it goes. This is actually pretty close, so I'm very curious to see. Now at the very back, we have Benjamin, that is negative almost 10%. And as you can see here, it's just basically a combination of longs and shorts for Uniswap, but it doesn't seem like it's working yet. 10%. All right, let's see. All right, so Justin is a little bit behind. Oh wow, 1 minute left. 1 minute left. So Justin is basically narrowing the gap, and it's less than 0.5%. So let's see if in the next 30 seconds this trader will be able to close the gap and advance into the next round. So it seems like HomeAble is gonna advance into the next round. Okay, 25 seconds left. Let's see if Justin is able to take the spot. Of course, after the competition, we will announce all the results after the proper calculation. Right now, this is just live data feed, so it might not be very exact, but we will calculate and post the official results after the competition. So we have 5 seconds left, and it seems like Justin is not able to close the gap, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for him or her. All right, so we have finished today's session. We will be back tomorrow for more. So remember, this is the round of 4. This week we only have 2 sessions, and next week we're gonna have semifinals. All right, thanks everybody for joining, and I will talk to you in a bit.